Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV with my co-host Jeremy Scipio.
What's going on, people?
And OG Mash.
What's up, guys?
Is it Mosh or Mash?
Or mash,
or
mashed potatoes, like you'd sit in the restaurant and say, I want French fries or mashed potatoes. That's my whole name.
All right. You know what I'm saying? OG Mash, you know what I'm saying? Giving us a great conversation.
You wild, bro.
We didn't even start the conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Usually we take a while to just, talk to a guest before we go live and just warm it up and everything. You hop right into the double dutch.
I'm from the desert. I come warm.
She said.
I said, yeah, she hot.
I'm already hot.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. So tell me this. Where were you the first time that you heard hip hop, and what was the song?
Oh man, I'll tell you this. It was back in Tel Aviv, and hip hop. This was before like internet. This was when CDs were the way to put the music out.
Oh wow!
So most of the rappers from America, they didn't. All of them bring CDs to Tel Aviv. It's not a big market, or I don't know why, but there was not a lot of CDs, and we were just, but we were like the pioneers in the way that like we really 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 love hip hop, and we were just like, I remember Dr. Dre was the first guy. The next episode, the Chronic.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I love the Chronic. I would bump that shit. I used to do. I knew all the East Coast and the West Coast and all that stuff. And I remember that I'm from Israel, such a different reality. I didn't understand the beef, but I was like, well, maybe they also have war going on, and I don't know. Like I didn't. I'm from a different culture, so when back in the day when they had the East Coast and the West Coast, they have like this beef between them, but I try my best to understand, even though I didn't grow up in the same place and shared the same things. But we were just, my parents thought I was crazy.
I believe you.
And there was only like 3 clubs in Israel that would play. They would have hip hop nights, and we was wild.
They gave y'all just a shot glass of hip hop too. You didn't get a full glass. They gave you guys a shot, and y'all was
What do you mean by that?
Back in that day, for you to listen to music, especially if you're from a faraway country like Israel, you had to look for it and work to get those songs. It's not like today that you like press on YouTube and music is so global. It's so international. A song is played everywhere. There, you had to go. You have to look for the CD. If you didn't have the CD, you have to download Napster. You have to download all this.
Napster. Throwback.
No, I know. Like,
is it Napster? I don't remember.
No, you're right.
What it was, but we would do everything in our power to because that's what we thought was cool.
Nah, that's dope, and it's like it's funny. E40 said like I was an E40 fan way before he came popular, because like he, now he came popular because he's like an icon and he's done songs with like a lot of big artists, but like. When I was in the E40, it was like when he was down with Tupac. So we talking about like 88, 89, 90, like all that. So he had a song where he said, we'll tear up some shit like some people in France or something like that. And he said it in the song, and it was a trip to me because I'm sure a lot of his fan base didn't understand what he was talking about. But what he was talking about is how like in other countries, they don't just protest like, people protest in the United States, like skipping around, la-di-da, we protested. In other countries, people take it to the max. Like I remember my first time coming into Ireland, it was back when the mad cow disease was just, really crazy. The mad cow disease was crazy. And
what exactly was mad cow disease? Like
it was
bad or something?
It was something that didn't make me stop eating meat. You know what I'm saying? Was I eating meat at that time? You know what? I don't think I was eating meat at that time. I don't think I was, but I knew people that it didn't stop them from eating meat, But it was basically a disease that was making cows like fall over and foam at the mouth.
It affected their brain or something.
Dude,
weird. It messed up
the reason that they didn't do the horror story about the cows falling over and foaming at the mouth is the same reason why Oprah, you know what I'm saying, the beef industry tamed her down when she was talking wild.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Oprah talked reckless about the beef. You know what I'm saying? But to my point, so we came into Ireland, they scrubbed the tires, whatever, mad cow was going on, and something had happened not too far from the venue we were driving to. And like people was in the streets throwing Molotov top, you know, like it was unrest, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I just remember, and that was my first, like, it was my first time on the road, my first time in Ireland. And I remember thinking, and I was like, man, in places other than the United States, you know, people have a different conviction when it comes to certain stuff. And I say that because you're talking about, which Jeremy kind of, I'm not going to say Jeremy didn't get it, but when I was saying they gave you, you know, you were in Tel Aviv, and I said, man, they gave you a shot glass of hip hop, not a full glass. Like, it probably really, for whatever hip hop you had out there, it probably took a cousin of a cousin of a cousin, somebody that knew a DJ, and like you really had to get the music. It wasn't like it is right now, where you have social media, you have YouTube.
Yeah, we were in Israel. And we were working to get the music because we thought it was so cool. And we were like, the thing is, hip hop wasn't, you know, it takes a minute for the masses to adapt something, but when it's not in America, right? So, but we thought it was the coolest thing ever, and we were like, we're gonna do. I remember that I drove like an hour and a half because I knew that this one store sold the Chronic by Dr. Dre. And I would listen to Tupac. I remember in my room, I'd be like, first off, fuck you, bitch, and the click you click. And my mom is like, I think she needs a psychologist. She's yelling at her. Like, she didn't understand. And it's also funny that like a Jewish girl in Israel is like, I'm like, yeah, Tupac, you know, and Rough Riders and all that. Like,
yeah.
It was crazy. But, you know, we had a different reality growing up, you know, but.
Did you think hip hop would be as big as it is now?
I always thought so. I was always drawn to hip hop. So much so that I'm here and I'm in America since a young age. I knew I always wanted to come to America, and fuck around. I always knew it. Knew it.
I've met many people in many countries, and they gravitate towards hip hop as rebel music. I mean, they like they like the fun hip hop and all that, but like the fools that's kind of a little rebellious. And the funny thing, it means more to people in other countries than it means to us. Like they really take it. Like people don't understand the impact of like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood and all that kind of stuff. It's something that, you know, me living in Los Angeles, it's something that I saw more or less. My cousins were really in that environment. I was kind of exposed to it from the outside. Maybe on the weekends, I go to my grandmother's or whatever. But people from other countries, when they saw those movies, they really took it to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like they really took it.
The one thing about music, I think that it's healing, you know? So it didn't matter that I didn't, you know, grow up at the same place that they were talking about. You still have pain that comes from whatever your life is and your journey is. And you play the music and you listen to the music and you feel better. And there's a lot of like also a lot of the songs that have humor in it. Like, and they're just dope. So you listen to the music, you feel better, even if you're not necessarily, you know, from that. But yeah, from a young age, I remember I used to hide in the bathroom of my house and write poems in English, everything in plays and scripts scenes. And my mom didn't even understand, how do I know English?
Nah, so what other than hip hop brought you to America?
I think curiosity. I think, I came to a point in my life where I was feeling discouraged in a way. I've done everything by the book. I went to college, I had a job, I made my money, I paid my bills, I had a boyfriend. I did all the things you should do. You should make a person happy. But for some reason, I wasn't. I looked at my future and I was like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get married. And it's all great. But there was some curiosity in me that was like burning. I wanted to meet new people from new cultures. I wanted to it's like a child. It's like a kid that wants to play with other kids. And I even remember I would say a prayer to God. I said, Daddy, I call him Daddy. I said, Daddy. Daddy, so sometimes I said, Daddy, I fucked up, I'm sorry. Like I also
yo, you wow.
I always say sometimes, to speak to your creator, you don't have to go to, a synagogue or church or a mosque or whatever, right? You could just sit in your room and go, Daddy, I'm sorry, I fucked up.
Yeah. Speaking of the language that you understand, it's like, okay, I can relate to you. You don't have to be formal. You don't have to be formal.
Yeah. And I remember me asking him, I said, I was going through a rough patch and I said, Daddy, I just want to fuck around and and make people laugh and just have a good time. I just want to have a good time. I said, please, Daddy. I said, introduce me to your funniest children.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I said, amen. I said, it's all I want. I had come with a pure heart. I just want to play around. Introduce me to your funniest children. And then I embarked on this crazy journey with, I feel, God's funniest children. And yeah, thank you for having me on the show. You also the funniest children.
Yeah. I know I'm funny because I had to correct that flyer and I put mash like them potatoes. You know what I'm saying? And then Jeremy jumped all over me, so I was real quick on the draw.
What?
You put the ED on like mash.
No. He just said mash. But I just was trying to, this is backdoor talk. But I just was trying to make sure our guests feel welcome. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bad way to start an interview. That's all.
Jeremy and I, we don't like, man, since COVID and we haven't been in the studio or whatever, we've done Zoom. We've seen each other like 2 times, 3 times, right? like
that
really.
Was so dope. But he came down to Laugh Factory Long Beach.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's a fun place. I love that place.
Yeah.
We did a show together a few times there too.
Yeah. You killed last time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was telling Slink this morning that I saw you down there, and he agreed with me. He's like, dude, the venue is dope. I'm like, man, nobody knows about this dope place. I'm like, man, it's like literally it's 10 minutes on the from my front door to over the bridge is like 10 minutes. And I'm like, man, and honestly, and my conversation with Slink was, I haven't felt that good spending the money that I spent to come into the show and get the entertainment. Like for the money that I spent for the entertainment and everything, I felt like it was really like if I would have had a date or it was something that somebody could have took a nice date, went on a nice date to or whatnot, because the venue is right by the water. That was what Sleep was talking about. He was like, man, it's right by the water. You have all that. But the inside of the place was just like really nice. And then like all the comedy was cool. Like all the comedy was cool. And because I had kind of gotten turned off from live comedy. Like just I told Jeremy, one of my favorite who I thought was one of my favorite comedians. I went to see him perform, but he's in a lot of movies too. And so they were actually doing a filming for something. And so he kept saying jokes over and he wasn't really funny and he didn't seem like he was into it. So like, I was just kind of like, well, you know what? You have actors and then you have comedians. And then some people, I don't know if they can act and they do comedy or if they do comedy and they act or whatever. But I was just kind of like, I was kind of hurt. Because I was like, damn, it's like seeing somebody you like without makeup on or something. Like
I can't wait to, because the thing is, I don't have to vouch for this person at all, but I tell you all the time, that was a taping. You know what I mean? Tapings are different from live comedy shows. But I don't have to defend this person at all. He's not one of my favorites, but I can't wait to get you to a regular show of his. I guarantee he'll win you back over.
Okay, I'll leave myself open to that. So I was traumatized from that taping, and then Jeremy had me come out one night in Hollywood, and then I got to see comedy from like a different perspective, like a person who I knew who was doing comedy, and then like it was a mixed night, like there was different people, and I was like, oh shit, this is what, like, comedy is a whole nother culture. Like people don't even, like, people see the Netflix or they see little YouTube clips or just whatever. But when you go to see live comedy and you're there and you're in a mix of different cultures of people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, like all these people, and then the comedians are making jokes, and some of them may be a little bit about race, but nothing brutal, but just things that are more like, they're realistic. Like, they're realistic. It's not like you're like, oh man, you're going too hard on this race, but they're talking about everybody. And that's like that drew me into it. And so I say that to say, when I went to Jeremy's show on Sunday, like everybody was like, everybody made me laugh. Like I can honestly say not one person, some were funnier than others, but nobody was not funny. And I feel like,
well, Jeremy doing the All-Star shows, he don't fuck around.
And I'm like, and it's crazy because it's like, I feel like people don't know about live comedy. Like they don't know that. Like I think like the internet as well as Netflix and whatnot has kind of, I know it did for me. Maybe I should just say me, but I know seeing live comedy was very refreshing.
There's something in that room. There's something in the vibe, the live vibe of the room that you don't get on TikTok. I know that it grew a lot on social media since the pandemic because people had to laugh. But I remember comedy was banned. Like you can't have comedy shows. You couldn't go to the gym. You couldn't do shit. And I thought for some reason it was a great idea to do a comedy show in the gym. And but I remember when we went to that gym, people were ecstatic. The vibe in the room, the energy, people were just ready because they wanted to feel together. They wanted to laugh together. There's something about laughing by yourself in front of a phone that is different than laughing with a gang of people.
Oh, absolutely.
What is that background, by the way? You look like you were left alone in the spaceship.
What? I wasn't left alone.
No,
I jacked the spaceship. You know
I think that's the Death Star. I don't know if you say that. Star Wars.
Yep.
He looked like they all left him.
Darth Vader went to go and pump some gas and I boned out on him. You know what I'm saying? Took the whip for a G ride, for a who ride. So when you were like, let's say 12 years old to let's just say like 16, 17 years old, what was your soundtrack in Tel Aviv? Like what music were you listening to? And I know that there was other stuff than hip hop. It had to be at least a little bit. Like what were the songs going on at the time?
Let me tell you something. In terms of specific ages, I don't remember specific times like 12 to 16 or 13 or 15. I smoked too much weed for that. But I will tell you this. It was Biggie, it was Tupac, it was Easy, it was Mystical, it was Snoop. It was Diddy. There's a lot of Diddy. Yeah. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Don't worry if I write rhymes. I write checks. I was like, as a Jewish person, I liked it.
Hey. You know what? I keep trying to make it more, I guess, a little more diverse than what it is, but you're sitting here right now with your hat turned backwards. You understand me rapping and you know, on dope shows like Wild and Out, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, so she of the culture, man.
I got it.
She's also one of the realest. She also one of the realest people I know, as far as like she gonna say what's on her mind, man. You know what I mean? That's just how she.
Well, did they say something wrong? Did they say something wrong?
No, you said, look, come on. How you gonna say?
No, she said.
I don't know. I said something wrong.
No,
she said everything except for what we was talking about with that horse.
With the what? With the horse.
That's not gonna, yeah.
It's funny because it was really like this balance between hip hop and hip hop and just like Israeli Jewish music. So it would come and fuck your bitch in the clip. You get to Hava. I'm like, I had a little bit of.
Do they have that type of music like on the radio?
Huh?
Would they have like that type of like Jewish music on the radio? Like you like, oh, this is my song, and you turn it up.
Yeah, I mean, now they play everything. Now they play everything. I think also as a comedian, I've always, I've really had a lot of respect and appreciation because if you see a lot of those bars, they're funny. Mm-hmm. Like if you listen to the song, like if you even sometimes when I listen to Future, some of these bars that like.
What's that? If you catch me cheating, I'll never say sorry.
Sucking that bitch to you like I'm trying to get some syrup out of it. That's funny. That's a funny, like.
He said, if you catch me cheating, I'll never say sorry. And he repeated it. If you catch me cheating, I will never. He's wow. That's a wild boy.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's wild. I have an appreciation for that, For I like it. I respect it. I like it.
When did you develop a passion for rapping yourself?
When I got in Wild, I've never like.
You had songs though.
I had songs though. I have songs though when I'm rapping and stuff. But in terms of freestyle rap, like I've been rapping in the studio, especially more and more, since the pandemic happened. As comedians, we didn't have an outlet, and I have a lot of my friends are musicians and rappers. They would just kind of like throw me in a booth, and be like, "Yo, Mash, you rap," and that's where I kind of got the gist of rapping, and I would just do my thing. But I've never like, out of respect for the art form, I never like consider myself this because I was like, oh my God, these people are amazing. You know what I mean? So I always, how like when you see like the best comedians in the world, you're like, I hope one day I could be as dope as that.
Of course, but you being modest. Hold on, you got a song. Hold on, wait. You acting like you ain't.
I got a few songs. You
just dropped the song. What are you?
I just dropped, yeah.
Well, you being too modest. Like, oh, don't affiliate me with that. I have so much respect for the Kings, and here you go. One day I'm about to get your song. But
yeah. I have one song out. I have
you
an
and your
EP.
sister?
It's coming out. I have an old EP. It's coming out very soon. It got picked up by the dude, who worked on who worked with John Mayer and worked with a bunch of artists, and he liked the track, so it's now being mixed and it's gonna drop. I don't have a date yet, but we're looking on that.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to do music. My mom is a music teacher actually for kids, so I grew up around music. And she would do creative stuff. Like she would make all these instruments from all these like random things, and she would teach kids music like for the first time. And I remember as a kid, I would look at it and I was like, man, that I saw the power in music, what it does to people.
Yeah, see, it was her fault. So when she wanted to get mad, it was her fault.
I feel like I want to be there in the spaceship with you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got room for you and Jeremy. I'll come by and swoop y'all up. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Okay, so you're living in Tel Aviv. Hip hop came and took you over the same way it took us over in America. It body snatched your mind. You used hip hop, Biggie, Pac, all this, that, and the third. So you're in high school, or the equivalent to high school in Tel Aviv, about to graduate. I know that you said that you were at a point, you had a boyfriend, you had, a job and all this kind of stuff. But like before you graduated high school, or what would be high school before you went to college, what did you think go ahead. What did you think your path was going to be like before you got to college? The path was supposed, I was doing online gaming tech stuff, and the path was always going to be make money, pay your bills,
get a man, have some kids, you know, make your mama proud, you know, all that. And it just came to a point for me where I did all that, but I found myself depressed. And I didn't know why I was depressed, because on the surface, on the paper, I had it all, but I wasn't happy. Mm-hmm. And I remember it's interesting because I got like the flu. I got a little sick, and I went to the doctor, and it was so strange. The doctor was like, "Are you sad?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying to me right now?" He's like, I think that you're not getting better because your emotional mental state. Yeah, I think you need to go home and think about what needs to make you happy. And that was a doctor. Wow. He said that. So I go home, and again, I go to my Buccaneers cat. I said, "Dad, what the fuck did I do wrong? Like, what did I do?" I said, "I did everything everybody wanted me to do." But sometimes what everybody wants you to do is not what's right for you. Mm-hmm. So I got an idea, like this crazy thing answer that says, if you wanna snap out of it, you need to go outside your comfort zone. You need to do something to shake your soul up, something that scares you. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I thought stand-up comedy is pretty bold, and it was pretty scary for me at the time. And then I was like, nah, that's crazy, right? But then after a week, I marinated with it. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go. I'm not going to make it. I didn't think about making it a whole career. I thought about, I'm going to go to New York or LA, because when I grow old, when I be a grandma, I want to give my grandkids a story. I said, back in the day, your grandma, she went to New York or LA and she did her thing. I wanted to have a story. So I booked a trip only for 1 month. I said, I'm going to do a few mics. Maybe I'll get one show. That's fine for me. And I'll go back. And I came here, and there's a whole different story of what happened to get here. A lot of things went wrong, but was so right. And I came here and I got on stage. It was the Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood. And we had there was like a showcase, and it was the first time that I was happy. And I think that I was happy because I conquered my fear. And going back to hip hop, and I think what I really admired in hip hop was that fearlessness, the attitude and that fearlessness. And it's always something that I kind of was curious about, how to conquer your fears, even your biggest ones. And I have to go about life with an attitude. So I felt really good at that show, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stay. What the fuck am I going to do in Israel, man? So I stayed in LA, and I started grinding, doing stand-up, doing shows, doing mics. Yeah. I'm on MTV, bitch.
Hey.
Yeah, man, you did. I'll let Jeremy hop into it, but that's quite an accomplishment coming from where you came from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing about it, when you were just talking, you're like, and I marinated on it. I'm like, man, she even really knows how to use the slang in its proper context.
Yeah,
man. And I think I experienced all those things. So I always say, God, he blesses you with some sort of craft, and he makes you experience things. That's why, for you to tell a story, and for you to help others that experience a similar thing. So that's why I tell my friends, there's something you think is negative happening to you. Maybe it's not negative. Maybe it's happening to you because God knows that you can handle it. You can handle whatever it is, and he blessed you with some craft. You're going to help somebody else. Mm-hmm. So with my journey of doing things that I was scared of, and conquering your fears and your dreams, I feel like I can, through humor and music, can maybe pass that on. So there's a little child some there, and in 5 years he's gonna be the dopest star in the world. You never know. Mm-hmm. But just because he heard something, just like I heard something when I was in Tel Aviv that I heard in a song, and I was like, damn, I gotta do it. Tupac said, fuck you, bitch, in the video. I gotta do
it. When I first moved to LA, I remember Ron, T Nava, who played with Anderson .Paak, whatever. he took me to this party. It was like Eminem. This is so weird, but Eminem's friend Proof, who passed, they had a party for him, and they thought Eminem was gonna show up. He didn't, but this dude Chino XL showed up, and I was super excited to meet Chino XL. I'm not a fan of his music at all. Only reason why I was excited to meet Chino XL is because Tupac said this. He goes, "First we gonna do it like this. Fuck Bad Boy. Fuck Biggie. Fuck Bad Boys and staff record labels. You down with Bad Boy? You too. Chino XL.
Fuck you too."
I was like, yo,
all you
Tupac.
motherfuckers.
I was like, Tupac said, "Fuck you, dog. That's so dope."
A lot of anger in that young man.
He said what?
I said there was a lot of anger in that young man.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, he left a legacy. You know, too bad. We everybody was wondering what he would do if he was still here. But
you know something real quick. The part that we forget, just because of how powerful a moment in time that was. Tupac was a kid, dude.
Yeah, 25. Yeah,
he was a kid. He was he was really young. But yeah,
he still seemed older than I am now. He was older back then than I was now. But what was your path to Wildin' Out, if you like to describe that?
Well, I guess I got the casting people. Sometimes they reach out to people in LA, New York, in cities, and get recommendations. And I guess my name came up, and I got a message in IG saying, "Hey, this is so from Wild Now. We were wondering if you can send us a tape." And back at that time, I was at like a Bitcoin conference in Miami. I was on a boat, fucked up. I'm being honest here.
No, you always wake up in random places. It's hard to track you.
Yeah, well, when I say fucked up, it's not like anything too. We were just partying,
Yeah.
And I was on the boat, and I get this message. I said, "Well, all right, yeah." I said, "Yeah, I'll send you." And I don't know why I forgot about it. And then, but my buddy of mine, he's like, "Hey, did you send so the tape?" I was like, "Oh, fuck." And then I was like, "Yes." So I hit up my sister, and I said, "Hey, can you help me film this thing?" And she comes to my house, and I start rapping and introducing myself in an audition tape. And then I go, stop. So she goes, "What's wrong?" It's like, "I'm not feeling it. Some here is not right." She goes, "Like, you want to go eat some falafel?" And I'm like, "What do you think? We should shoot in the falafel place. That's better." She was like, "No, I'm just hungry." I was like, "Oh shit." But I took my baby sister to eat some falafel, and I'm standing at the falafel where you pay, and I'm paying the girl. And then I go to my sister Ophir, and I go, "Yo, the moment the girl hands me the falafel pita, starts filming. Just start filming." And the girl comes and she hands me the pita, and I hold the pita like a microphone, and I start rapping. And that's the tape I sent. It was one take because the girl that handed me the thing, she's not an actress. She don't want to be on camera, so she was willing to do that once just because she had to give me the food.
Do you remember your rhyme, your rap?
What was it? I said, "My name is Ormash. I'm trying to join your cast because I'm tired of driving DoorDash." Something like that. Something like that. But I'm rapping on a falafel pita. I rapped for like a minute or.
No, I saw it. It was better than that. I saw it. It was tight.
It was something like that. It was something like that. I don't remember. It was a minute ago, but. I just remember I started rapping. I just started freestyling and I send it. I was like, "Fuck it, this is who I am." Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna send that one.
Wow.
And the way I do it with audition is like I send an audition. I forget about it because I don't want to get, I don't want to put too much hope into something and then get disappointed. And this profession is easy to get. You sometimes get no's and you don't want it to. So I forget about it, but it was always on my mind. I was like, "Man, I wonder what's going on with that Wildin' Out thing." And then I get a message saying, "Hey, the Wildin' Out producers want to talk to you." And we go on a Zoom and say, "We're going to fly you out we had our selection of like the best, I think it was 15 to 20 rappers and comedians that they saw from all the tapes that were submitted. And it was like, they flew out the ones they liked, and they were like, we want to see you live. So I'm like, oh my God. So I fly there, like Wild 'N Out sends a car. It was like a dream, right? I felt like, like the princess, the knight in shining armor. It was just it was a woman with a Wild 'N Out sign. That was my knight in shining. And she came, and I'm in Atlanta for the first time in my life, and I'm thinking like, they're gonna have me battle all these rappers. And it's easy for you to sometimes go like, I hope I'm good. It's not my native language. And I do stand up, and I rap and I have songs out, but this is like battle rap. It's a whole different art form. People have been doing this for years as a career. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna try to do my best. And we're in Atlanta. It was 4 days of auditions, just back to back to back to back, I'd say. And each day of audition, they play like from the morning to evening. They make you do the games. They make you battle rap. They make you do all the stuff that they do on the show. And then at the end, there's actually on YouTube, there's a whole docu-series, like an hour special. If you go on YouTube, you go to Wild 'N Out auditions, season 18.
Wow.
You're gonna see your girl. You're gonna see your girl over. And so I do that, and I do my best. And at the end, they tell me I got it. I open the door to the hall, and it's the entire cast and crew of Wild 'N Out, and they're all singing for me. Well, Wild It, Wild It, Wild It, Wild It. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. It was like the best feeling in the world. To also feel like I felt like I was really lucky also to even know these human beings, because they're really amazing. These creative people that are they're just really amazing people. So I was just honored to be a part of that family. And I remember
wait, how many people was it overall? That out of selections?
Almost 20 people.
20 people? And you, as I know, you were the only person from LA, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No.
There's another one?
No, they had me, it was Jeremiah and Polly, I think, from LA.
Oh, okay. But
it's all on YouTube. It's like public. You could watch it. No,
I'm saying you're the only person that got it though, right?
Yeah.
Because Jeremiah wasn't on. He didn't make the show, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the only person to get it from. Oh my God! Now I'm thinking about it. That's crazy. Yeah. So, and then I didn't have much time to even celebrate, because like they tell you got it, and then the very next day there's a bus taking you to set. But I remember like walking from the hotel where they did the audition, and they just told me I got it. Walking to my room, it was like I was walking in Atlanta, and I'm just like dancing by myself. I was like, woo, woo! I'm just like by myself, just like happy and dancing, and and then I was like, all right, or go to bed, because you need to be on your top game tomorrow. And I made it, and I remember the first time I saw the set, it's so many lights, the stage was so beautiful. I was just like, I remember I walked on stage before, right? And I was like, this is amazing. This is the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. I can't believe it. And yeah, so yeah, it was crazy. I feel like, how?
I was gonna say, you killed it. You stood out. That's one thing I like. You know what I mean? Because I think I was around you like right before. I think we did like I think it's kind of fun. I think we did a Laugh Factory show like right before, and then obviously we both did our own thing, but you did Wild 'N Out, and then you came back, and I saw you like right after, and I was just like, man, this is a whole superstar right here. Like it's just funny to see like your highlight reel, and then you come back and you like the same ore. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I remember when they told me I got it and I was over there on stage with all the Wild 'N Out cast. I looked up and I said, "Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, making my wish come true." I'm over here playing. I said playing. I'm playing games with the funniest people, your funniest children.
Yeah. That's DC Young Fly, Chico Bean, what's her name?
Justina.
Justina, was that her name? No, the redhead chick.
Justina, yeah.
Justina, yeah.
She's so cool, man. She's so fly.
Yeah,
I love her.
Shoot, that's like not only is it because you have some of the, you have good like actual stand-up comics, you have these dope social media comics, and you got like, you got rappers like what Conceited, you know what I mean? That's one of the dopest battle rappers. You told him to shut up. You shut up, Conceited. You shut up, Conceited. He never shut. She shut up a battle rapper. That's crazy.
No, I'm gonna tell you the impressive part to me. I haven't seen any of her material, but the impressive part is she came from another culture, told different thing. I'm sure there's probably some English that she kind of, not that she stumbles over it, but it's another language. So it's another language, but she was able to contend. Because see, I'm gonna share something with you. We start bagging when we like 3rd or 4th grade. So we, some of us just take it into the pros like basketball and football and all that. But we start bagging when we're young. So it's pretty impressive that you came from another country and you was able once again hop into the double dutch and to hang. You know what I'm saying? That's just really commendable that you was able, and then to do it to a level where it was beyond novelty. Because I'm sure if it was just novelty, it would have been like, okay, you say one joke, one episode, okay, haha, whatever. But for you to, be on it for a season and to, do your thing, that's a really a big feat. And once again, like I tell every guest that, Jeremy kind of, brings to the platform, Jeremy really knows and has like a decent rapport with a lot of talented comedians. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, and it's crazy because even when I saw Jeremy on Sunday night, he knew through acknowledgement, he knew 2 of the comedians that I thought were hilarious, like two of the guys that were pretty, they were pretty funny. And they're like, oh, and then one of them came and he kind of hung out, and Jeremy had kind of told me who he was before he came in. He's like, no, he does a couple things, whatever. And he was kicking it. And I was like, damn, Jeremy knows. But I stopped telling the story. I'll tell it on the podcast, but I don't tell it to everybody first because it'll be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But what would you describe your style of comedy as?
I don't know. I like to fuck around. I laugh about myself. I laugh about, the American culture from, perspective of somebody that came outside of the culture. But mainly I laugh about myself. I roast myself. Like my opening jokes are all self-roast. Yeah, so it's also the experience of how it's like being an immigrant in the country, being foreign, and yeah, I don't know, Jeremy, what would you describe my style of comedy?
How to describe your style? I mean, definitely.
It's fucking funny. That's how to describe it. How to describe the comedy is funny.
What I say you're a rock star. You know what I mean? Like you stand out. You know what I mean? Like that's what I knew in Wild 'N Out you was gonna stand out. I mean, you stand out. You very unique, probably the most unique person on every lineup you want.
Thank you, man.
It's the truth, man. Like I love performing with Orr. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care where I think you can host, you can feature, you can headline. You know what I mean? You're a rock star.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, man, I love working with you too. I feel like we're blessed to be able to work at something we're passionate,
Absolutely.
and to be able to, get paid and pay our bills and do what we love. We would have done it even without it. We've still done it. And now this is my job. Like, you know, it's funny when I came back. So right after I finished shooting in Atlanta, I came back to Israel, and my mind was still like thinking in rhymes and disses and roasts because I'm over there for a month, you know, and I'm like, so I'm like thinking about roast and shit like that, but I'm in front of my mother. I was like, you have to stop. Like, this is your Israeli mom in Tel Aviv. She's like, what is she saying? I was like, Mommy, I'm sorry. I need to change it up again. They start roasting your mom. What the fuck are these shoes? It's like, why is
who do you consider your major comedic influences?
Huh?
Your major comedic influence?
I like Bernie Mac.
Oh wow, that's the first one.
I like George Carlin. I like Dave Chappelle. But and each person is for, you know, also different things. You know, Chappelle is a lot of also storytelling and insights and stuff like that. You know, all of them are storytellers, really. But I'd say Bernie Mac, George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, Sarah Silverman.
Okay.
And a local one, I love Eddie Pepitone. Let me tell you. You know
really?
Eddie? I
love
Eddie Pepitone. He's my guy. And
That's
then
funny.
yesterday, the one guy that I would, obviously Cat Williams. Yesterday I went to see, especially to the Comedy Store, because I wanted to see Corey Holcomb.
Yeah.
So there's a few people that I would drive just to see the set, and then I leave. Like that. Who else? Me, obviously. No, I'm not. No, but yeah, this will be I love Ali Wong.
Okay,
I love Ali Wong. I think she's great. That's it. That's it, I'd say. I'd say. Yeah.
Oh.
But I feel like now, you know, it's cool. There's a rise of a bunch of female comedians that are, you know, on the scene. And they are very dope. My girl Rachel, shout out to Rachel Wolfson. Yeah, super funny, super witty, super smart, super, you know, she's a rock star too. And like I like watching female comics, you know, killing it.
Yeah, I gotta get her on sometime too. I think Rachel's like, yeah, she's like, you know, she stands out. I think she's like blowing through everything too, you know. And you know, she was on the Jackass movie.
Yeah.
Yes, you know.
Yeah.
Who's the most motivational person in your life?
I think my parents, you know, both my mom, she did music, and my dad, he was a coder, but both kind of taught me to never stop, never take no for an answer, and always think outside of the box and be creative. And then I really do it for my little sisters. I want them to always see their big. I was always the big sister. I always told my father, I was like the son you never had. But then he had a son, but I was always
That's funny.
but for a few years, like I was the big sister, and I was always looking out for my little sister. So I feel like I always try to show them that, you know, anything is possible, you know, and we're the MASH family. You know, you can do everything, and that's what I want to show. You know, Jeremy sees me all the time with my fit and my bear shoes and all my crazy styles and stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, a lot of times when I walk around, even in the street, the kids would stop and go, mommy, look at her shoes, you know, and shit like that. And I feel like it's good because it shows the kids at a very young age that you can redefine the rules.
Yeah.
And just do you. And I think that's the biggest motivation I would like to give. Just be comfortable, do you. You can look like a biker with
real quick. Can you spin it back? So tell us about these bear shoes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you right now. First of all, these are flip flops, and these are like, well, these are the most subtle one I have. I like these. I like the Jeremy Scotts. I'm big on. I collect shoes.
Okay.
I'm a shoes collector, so I collect these limited edition Adidas, especially Adidas, and a few other ones. But
Okay.
I collect them, and then I wear them, and I come out, and yeah, I just go on stage with looking. So I would say ridiculous. I think
Hip hop.
fire.
Very hip hop. Oh, 90s hip hop.
Absolutely, definitely.
90s hip hop.
Yeah, she makes a motorcycle pants, and it's like very fashionable. You know what I mean? It's just very her. You know, like, or I could easily see her getting like a sponsorship. You know, some clothing item, like for real, they're just like her own brand or something. You know what I mean?
Oh man, amen. Amen.
It's coming. Actually, didn't you did get something, didn't you?
I have, yeah, Spirit hoods. They're the furry jacket that I always wear. So you always see me with my pimp jacket, my fur jacket. That's Spirit hoods. It's all fake fur, and they like 10% of their proceeds go to actually help the animals. They're really dope. They sponsor me. Yeah, I feel like for me, I know that usually, the stand-up comedians a lot of times they go, and I admire that, they'll just go with a t-shirt and some jeans, and it's raw, and it's that kind of like, it's just me, this is who I am. For me, I feel like clothing and style was always a part of who I am. Like, I like the visual look, and there's I like to come in with my jacket and my fit, and I like to it makes me feel a certain way. It makes me feel a certain way.
Nah, you pulled it off so well though. That's why I'm like, as I say, you always been a rock star to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you may go like, who is that? You got to acknowledge that person. You can't, you be like, it's something happened. You can't be like, was Ormash here? Be like who? Like, exactly who that was. The person with the teddy bear shoes, the big furry jacket with the cat ears on it.
And you know what, man? It makes people happy. I feel like it makes people happy. It brings joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking
just
of,
like your shirt right there.
Yeah. This actually, I ain't never seen him wear a shirt like that. It's kind of funny you chose that today. Because
I like it. I'll make some shoes out of it. If you ever get out of the spaceship, let me know.
Hey, I told you, man. It was her riding that horse, man. I had my animal energy on. You know what I'm saying? Saw her riding that pony. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Oh, that's wild. Yo, so as a rock star, I know you're part of a lot of legendary moments. What was your what's the most legendary moment you've been a part of, or one of your favorites?
Oh man. I don't know. Legendary for me, or legendary is in general?
In general, whatever you feel. Whatever you feel.
Well,
there's no wrong answers.
In general, I saw Dave Chappelle at Yellow Springs, and it was his it just felt different from from Los Angeles. It was more like the vibe was just like, oh, that's his place.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a show at a cornfield, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I ever had. And just to see how much being fearless would get, how far it would get you, like how much rewards you would get for choosing love and not fear. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing, so fucking funny. It was Michael Che and Jeff Ross, and it did a whole show at a cornfield. And the way you enter that cornfield, it was just like it felt like a dream. It was just like this road in like the dirt with the trees falling. It felt like a little Alice in Wonderland. And he did his thing. It was an amazing show. And at the break, I swear there was fireworks that I've been in America for 6 years. I have yet to see such a spectacular fireworks show, and I've been to 5 or 6 4th of July. shows. He did like a whole fireworks show, and it was just like, and I was jumping. I was like, wow, 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 in Yellow Springs, and I was just so happy. And I was like, look what comedy and staying true to yourself, the rewards it would get you. Look at Dave. And that was a really legendary moment in general. One of the legendary moments for me is that when they told me I got Wild and Out, and I was walking by myself in Atlanta to my hotel room, and I just let everything go, and I just started jumping by myself. I was like, woo! It was like, in the scene of a movie where Rocky or whatever, they win something and they're just alone, and they just, that was a big moment, the big moment for me. And then when I came on stage and I saw the lights and I saw the funny people, and I say, thank you, Daddy, for making my wish come true.
Real quick. So you're in Atlanta for a month. You're filming Wild and Out. So if you want falafel in Atlanta, you probably got to search for it kind of hard. How did you take to soul food?
The food, the what? The food.
Soul food. How did you receive soul food when you're out there compared to what you were eating in Tel Aviv?
I'll tell you a few things. I didn't go out of the studio much. So that entire duration that I was in Atlanta, 99.9% of the time, we were at the studio. We were back at the hotel. We were always taken care of in terms of food. So whatever they brought, I ate a lot of steaks, let me tell you. and the steaks in Atlanta were amazing. The second thing that I would tell you is that Tel Aviv is a very good place in terms of culinary. It was voted like one of the top places in the world in terms of food. There's a lot of soul food there. I'm Egyptian.
Food?
There is soul food. Soul food, you said, like I'm Egyptian.
Okay.
So when my grandma make the food, and my auntie make the food, and when my family make the food, we call that soul food.
Okay.
I don't want to offend or say anything wrong if I'm using a different word in English, but I meant, like, when you say soul food, you mean the food that your family makes?
But no, that is what it is.
No, tell me what you mean.
No, you broke it down. You being from Tel Aviv, you broke it down to what it is, because it is so that it's like the food that are like, but the term that I'm using it as is the African American version.
The African American.
So it's like an African American grandmother. She make like greens, and she make macaroni and cheese and cornbread rolls.
It's the best food ever. It's the best food ever.
That's what I was getting.
It's the best food ever. I grew up. I'm 3/4 Egyptians and 1/4 Moroccan. So I grew up with my grandmas. They will make pots of food, and they would use the food literally to address any issue you'd had. If you were sad, you need a plate of food. If you were happy, you should eat some food. If you were stressed, you need some food. Every single thing, you need to eat some food. They would. So I grew up with that. I love everything about Atlanta. Especially I love the clubs. Let me tell you something. I love the clubs. When I was in the club, we were in the club 2 times, and I was like, I saw the people that were dancing, and I was like, it's like they came to the club to party. When you know how sometimes in LA people will come to the club to ignore each other.
That's LA. Yep. Yeah,
that's LA for you.
Yeah.
And I went to the club, and I've been in LA, I've been in New York. I haven't traveled much in America. So when I came to the club in Atlanta, I was like, yeah, man, this is I loved it. I was sweating, I was dancing, I loved it. I was like, this is like people in Tel Aviv are like that. They go to the club because they want to dance, they want to have a good time, they want to meet people, they want to talk, they want to be people. But yeah, I love it is Wild and Out. They feed us everything they give me. I love.
You too small to like to eat the way you eat. Every time we talk about food,
dang.
Monster. That was the jinxter, man, talking about the soul food and the
she can eat though. She can eat.
I believe you.
That's crazy.
I believe you.
Dang, it really did. Dang, she really she pieced out by accident.
Yeah, right. Y'all had it planned. She's like, well, I've done enough and we've, hooked it up.
Nah, y'all was just getting started. I'm trying to tell you, she loved talking about food. That's kind of funny that they even went the way it did. I want to see if she tapped back in, but if not.
Yeah, nah. If not. What were the name of some of the comedians that were there on Sunday?
Let me see. I can pull it up. I know it was Terrence Delane, which I wouldn't expect him to be there because he wasn't on the flyer. You have my boy Chinadu. You had Laurie Kilmartin. I'm not gonna find this in time.
Okay.
Let me see. You have Malik S.
There was a guy there. He came by before he left. I want to say he gave me a drink, or he wanted to give me a drink ticket, or gave me a drink. He was half black, half Mexican.
Terrence.
Oh, dude, he's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
He's he really does the racial jokes in a very tasteful way, and then talking about his Hispanic and his black situation. And another comedian, the female comedian that was on, she was hilarious.
Laurie Kilmartin. That's her.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Yeah, so I think I named everybody. Yeah.
Well, we got I think I probably short circuited out MASH when I started talking about the food, man.
Nah, man, she loves. That's funny.
She's like, I've done enough of this. I've done enough of this. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So what's up, man? What you got coming up, Jeremy?
What's going on with me? Well, I just you should come to the Pendry on Friday. That's where T Nava's doing his birthday thing, so I'm gonna host that.
I saw.
Yeah.
I saw. So, I might have to come and say what's up to Mr. Big Glasses with the stones, with the glimmer, the sparkles around them.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy because obviously he knows some people, and I was at the last one that was pretty crazy. So I only imagine this one's gonna be crazier than that. So
man, what's dope about Ron though? I saw he did it wasn't Yoshi's, but it was somewhere in San Francisco where it was around like, oh, here she is right here. We're gonna let her back in.
Okay.
Let's see if she comes in. She's moving slow. But yeah, it was dope because Ron had his father playing the guitar, man. That's so dope. And his dad is dope though.
Yeah.
That's the whole little thing. That's the whole cold little twist. Yeah. Yeah, very, very talented musical family, man.
Yeah, man. His dad was a cop for years, and I think
he told me.
Yeah, but once he got a chance to, get away from that, he paid his dues to society. He just was like, he wanted to be a musician. He still played.
Good for him, man. Mm-hmm. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
And me seeing Ron, he ain't scared of that drum set either. You know what I'm saying?
It's on Ron or his father?
No, Ron.
Ron? Yeah.
Ron ain't scared of the drum set.
Well, we went to the that school, whatever. That was we actually have free range of instruments. It was kind of cool. I mean, I focused on piano and a little drum. Well, I played drums in church. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, Ron, Ron was always a prodigy, man. I ain't gonna lie. He was always wild though. I'll say that. Like he's always out of his mind completely. But
man, he's
prodigy.
Yeah, I thought that I could do it. You know what I'm saying? We brought Ron out on the road, man. He could go. Yeah, man, that's amazing. He can go harder than me, man. He definitely can go harder than me. But the most, I'll say, commendable thing about Ron, whenever he sees a piano, whether we were in airports, whether we were in hotels, whatever, it will not be the scene for somebody black looking like Ron, looking like us to go and sit down at a piano and just start busting.
Yeah.
And I would see him go to the piano, and people would the hair start to right. They ready to just tell him to just slow his roll. And then once he started playing, everybody just chill out.
Just that good, yeah. Just that good, man.
Everybody chill out. He'll play for about an hour, hour and a half, taking requests. You know what I'm saying? Change, I'll see him do that. So man, Mash, she's looked like she tried to come in, but she did not come in. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring her back at a later date, man.
Absolutely.
We're gonna dig deeper into it.
Absolutely.
And then once again, Jeremy, if people want to come and check out your special, they can check it out.
Honestly, everywhere you can stream music, you can stream the comedy album Sociopath is available everywhere. Also Happens to the Best of Us, my other album, that's still available for purchase. If you want to give me the most money, that's on iTunes. Buy it, own it. Every time you get in the car, it's gonna come on.
Yeah. and anybody watching, man, I'll say that the live comedy scene in LA, man, you can really get you some good entertainment. Like I felt like, man, it really felt good. It's crazy. And you know, when you told me, Jeremy, when they, you know, COVID had jumped off and, you know, you really couldn't do shows, and you were like, yeah, man, I went out to blah, 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 and I did a show, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah. Yeah. I was kind of like, damn, that boy wild. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, just the way society is set up, you know what I mean? You got two different types of people, you know what I mean? You got people who are protective, like I'm gonna protect, you know what I mean? And you got people like I'm gonna go out there and conquer and create, you know what I'm saying? And you need both people in order for a society to thrive, you know? You know, we were the essential workers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's what I felt when I came out Sunday night. I was like, damn, when's the last time that I've really been in a setting that was like super multicultural and we all laughed hard? Like everybody was like on the same vibe, you know what I'm saying? It was dope. So with that being said, man, it's another episode of Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV. Co-host Jeremy Scipio, OG Mash, she mashed out on us. You know what I'm saying? She mashed out. I got to talk about that soul food, man. It was too much. It short-circuited the airwaves.
That's funny.
But with that being said, another episode of Splendid. Peace.